Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sukaja. If you're new here, a very warm welcome to you. In this video, I am going to talk to you about a book that unexpectedly became the first five-star read that I had in January 2026. And I've read about 5 books so far. I think this one really stood out and turned out to get 5 on 5 stars, while the others were also good books, but they didn't get 5 stars necessarily. I will be talking about all of those books in my next video, which is a January reading wrap up. But for now, I just want to introduce you to this amazing book that is totally underrated. And that is none other than Clytemnestra by Costanza. So she's a new author for me. I haven't read any of her works before, but there's got a quote in the front that says, "The fire and spark of Madeline Miller and the Depths of Mary Renaud." Now, I have read 2 books by Madeline Miller before. I enjoyed both of them equally in this book. It's like a Greek myth retelling, and this has a lot of the wonderful characters of Greek mythology featuring in it, which is really exciting. So you have Agamemnon, Electra, who's the daughter of Clytemnestra. And Clytemnestra is more or less a woman that was pretty obscure in Greek mythology, at least until I came across this book. I had no idea about her. And it was really nice to know about her life. In this book, we kind of understand what it's like for her as a child growing up in Sparta. So she's a Spartan. So her instincts are all about like training and wanting to kill. She's really like a very fiery woman who, as a character, is like a warrior princess, right? So she's born to royalty and her father is a king, but then she goes through a really hard life, like as hard as a life can be for a woman. So she's constantly living under a patriarchal society, ultimately becomes the person she's meant to be, which is what this narrative is about. And this traces her life's trajectory basically from the point when she was a little girl to, the people that she marries, the prophecy involved, because in every Greek myth retelling there's always prophecies involved. So even though you know vaguely like who she's going to end up marrying, because there's a family tree in the beginning of the book that kind of tells you about all the people in Clytemnestra's family. For instance, she is actually the sister of Helen of Troy, who is known as the most beautiful person in Greece back in the day, and who gets everybody into a lot of trouble just because she's so good looking. So Clytemnestra is actually her sister, and they're very close, and their friendship and their bond is also explored really well in this. This book is a real page turner. It is medium paced, but it's not too detailed. It has just the right balance when it comes to telling the story as well as creating atmosphere. So it's a very atmospheric book, and it also plays like a movie as you read it in your mind's eye. I felt like I was watching one of those, Greek movie retellings by Hollywood, and I could see the characters being played by certain actors, and it was exciting really, and I would want to watch this if it was made into a film at some point. I gave it 5 on 5 stars because it held my attention from start to finish. I learned so much about the life of Clytemnestra and so many other women who have gone into obscurity. We remember men like Agamemnon, who is actually a really bad king, but we don't often remember the women and the sacrifices they made to kind of enable their husbands to triumph, and the men in their lives to really get success and fame and go down in history as heroes. So what exactly does it mean to be a Greek hero? There's always a downside, and that is explored really well in this book as well. It also has a bit of tragedy in it, like it has a Greek tragedy, which is a hallmark thing when it comes to Greek narratives. And I was reminded of Julius Caesar, for instance, reading this book. And so there are moments when it feels like there's a perfect balance of all the elements of a good Greek play, right? But it's not a play, it's a novel. Chapters are relatively short, but would highly recommend it. If you've read it, let me know in the comments down below. And if you have a suggestion as to what else I would like now that I loved Clytemnestra, please leave a comment and let me know which book to pick up. If it's another Greek myth retelling, I'd be happy to explore. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the like button if you like this video. In the meantime, stay safe, stay sane, happy reading. Bye.